Okay, so we're gonna go into EC2. Let's run through this pretty quick. Instance, we have some instances already here. I'm gonna build a new one. Let's go to launch instance. First thing we need to do is select our distro. Let's select Redhat. Enterprise Linux 10, that's fine. 64-bit, let's run through this. T3, this is a free tier. Yep, let's create key pair. Let's create a new key pair. Let's call this patching. RSA keys, create, and remember you only have one time to get this pair of keys. So those are the RSA keys. We're gonna have the private, the public is gonna be on the server. That's gonna allow us to SSH. We need to set up security rules here, allow SSH traffic, set to my IP. Everything else, not really necessary for what we're trying to do, since we're just trying to roll back the kernel. All right, we're gonna launch this. While that's happening, grab that key. Oh, so the instance is ready. Okay, so this is still initializing. Let's see if we can pull this key. So I'm using Windows Linux subsystem. I have a Fedora box, but for the sake of the application I'm recording, I'm just using that. Let's see, all users. Yeah, should be a download. Yep, all right. Let's move this key to, let's just make something directly for this. Let's just put patch key. Boom, and then we're just gonna move this over there. Patching to, all right. Now that we move that, let's see. I'm probably gonna have to grab the command. Once this is built, let's see. All right, so the instance is built. And we're gonna go into connections, SSH client. Let's see. Yep, and this is basically telling us to make sure that the permissions is correct. Connect to instance via public DNS. Yep, and we got the key here. Boom. All right. So now that we connect to the public DNS, I'm just gonna sudo up to the root ID, and then as you can see, let's just take a look at the kernel. So we got 6.12.0.124, and then what we could do is do a yum. Actually, let's do DNF. Update just the kernel. Clean kernel, and then we have the kernel we're gonna update to. So let's just install that. Let's take a minute. All right, let's see. Okay, so that's complete. We're just gonna reboot the server so that the new kernel could take into effect. So let's sudo up, and then let's just double check the kernel is running. So we're on 29, which is the new kernel. Now, if I do a rpm-q kernel, I should see 21 and 29. Now we just need to we need to revert it back. Now there's two ways to do it. One of the ways is to reboot the server and interrupt the bootloader and load the old kernel in, and you can just like kind of uninstall the new one if you kind of just want to get rid of it. The other way is to set this kernel as the default and reboot, and then you can uninstall it, do whatever you want. You just don't want to remove that kernel while you're on it. Loader, entries. Okay, so we have 1 and 2. There's a command. You can set this to grub2 set -default, grub2 set -default, and then the path to the kernel you want to use. We're trying to go back to 21, so I'm going to press F. All right, and in order for this to take place, we need to reboot. So we'll reboot and then check the kernel again. Let's see how quick this thing is. Okay, so if we did everything correct, this should be on 21.